Yeah, so we're in now. This is it. This is where the podcast is going to start.
Okay. Thanks.
So that Wim Hof program the other day on BBC. As I said, he's like the king of cold, and they got a load of Z-list celebrities on, as they always do. I don't even know why it has to be celebrities. I don't know why it can't actually be inspirational people from the UK would be better.
They cost too much money.
You literally just described us.
True.
There you go.
That could be one of us, isn't it? No, they cost too much money, proper celebrities.
But we'll do it for free.
They essentially just made them all jump into like a small section of very cold water, which is fine. But then they made them like abseil down a mountain, which didn't really... Why would you get Wim Hof, who's like Mr. King of Cold stuff, to show... It was really...
Was the mountain surrounded by snow or ice?
Yeah, but it
probably cold.
But they weren't like naked doing it and suffering cold whilst doing it, if you know what I mean.
No, but because they're celebrities, they have to be careful. They're quite...
Yeah.
Anyway, it felt like a complete waste of time, and all just like big grand music and slow-mos and shit like that.
Do you remember that program years ago called Grumpy Old Men?
Yes.
That's you.
What? Because I'm complaining about stuff.
You are the grumpy old man.
All that program is going to do, I think it's just designed to get people to prepare for turning their heating off in the winter because of the energy crisis.
Oh, that's a deep meaning behind it. You're really analysing this, aren't you? I thought it was just some dudes who are a bit irrelevant just wanted to get a bit of dollar again.
The only way they could have made that better if it's sponsored by like British Gas or something.
Sponsored by EDF Energy. We're sorry. Yeah, get used to the cold, guys. If Wim Hof can handle it, so can you.
Just breathe, guys. Just breathe. If you can, I'm cold all the time. I've got the heating on now. Like in the nice weather.
You're not even there. You got it on.
No, I don't. Well, I've got like an electric radiator next to my bed that's always on low all times because that room gets bare cold and I'm bare cold. Like, I'm in bed like last night. I'm shivering. I'm so cold. I'm a very cold person.
Yeah, I run very hot. Like I always have at least one leg outside of the duvet at all times.
You are the demons could get you for your leg outside the duvet.
Have you seen that meme?
It's not a meme. It's real life. I don't have any skin showing apart from my head. I'm literally like duvet up to here.
There's that meme and there's like that little person in it, and then it cuts to like the next frame, and they've just got their arse sticking out.
Oh. Demon doesn't want to get that. I tell you that for free.
Why don't you get like the old school cocoon style sleeping bags?
No, I don't like to be constricted. I like freedom. I like to okay, I've got obviously double bed. I'm there. I'm spread eagle, but under the covers.
Not sharing that double bed?
Who the fuck am I going to share with? No one wants to cuddle me. You want to come and cuddle with me?
Assuming that you do eventually get someone to share a double bed with, are you going to have to then upgrade to like Super King or whatever it is?
Impossible. Don't think Jason will ever share a double bed with me.
He will. You two are like Bert and Ernie. It'll be fine.
No, he doesn't like sleeping in the same room as me.
Harsh. Anyway, what else is new? Well, before we move on to the key stuff for the episode, anything exciting to talk about, anyone? I went skiing again yesterday evening.
Oh yeah, I saw. Did you get
on your own? I saw.
Yeah.
Did you actually go on your own? Do you get the run? Excuse me. I just want to let you know I'm level 4. Can you quickly film this quickly?
I'm actually level 4.
Yeah, I'm just going to go left and right, but make sure you pan with it because it's really good dynamic angles. Can you get that for me? He goes, who are you? Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm level 4. Don't worry about me. Sorry, what level are you? Oh, sorry, I don't speak level 3. Leaves.
You probably don't understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah, honestly, it's level 4 thing.
Mate, I've done all the levels now.
Are you level 5 and 6?
Yeah.
Guys, he's level 6. Guys,
is this one of those things you can just pay for to get the levels, or do you?
No, I mean, what's the point? The whole reason they do the levels is so that you can then go back and just ski on your own.
So what's the biggest run you could do? Is it like Black Diamond or some shit? Like
I'm not going to be doing that when I go away. That's
well,
for
I'm
sure.
sorry. If it was the point of being level 6, if you can't even do the, if you're not going down Everest backwards, then you're clapped.
I'm getting some advanced lessons when I get out there.
Advanced? What's bigger than level 6?
Well, no, I can't be asked to go into it.
There's a level 6 plus.
You've defeated the initial 8 and the Elite 4, but then you realise there's another 8 afterwards. And you're like, gee, wow. That's what's happened.
Maybe.
But you never played Pokemon, did you?
No.
Oh, well, grow up.
Level 6 plus.
Don't forget, I'm the old one here, so I'm not.
Do you play Pokemon?
I have.
Okay, just
red version, blue version. Actually, I have blue version in Spanish because we got it when we were on holiday, so I played it in Spanish. Gold, silver,
Pokemon.
Bangs.
They were great.
Ruby and Sapphire, the best.
I also had yellow. My brother got yellow with the Pikachu Game Boy. Yeah,
yeah, that's Giga.
Did you have the purple Game Boy, the see-through one?
I had a Game Boy Color.
Yeah,
I had a Game Boy Color.
Yeah, I had my Game Boy Color was green. My sister's was purple and see-through.
Oh.
That's what my life has become. I still have it somewhere.
It's in your back pocket.
I used to take back in the day when I was in sixth form. I used to every day I'd go into sixth form.
Sixth form?
Yeah, like college.
Yeah, I know what that is.
I
but
went to sixth form as well.
But I was saying, I think I'd stopped playing Pokemon by that point.
Oh, grow up. No, shut up. I used to take my Game Boy Advance SP into school and I'd just sit there my free periods of playing Pokemon Ruby. So I was at university. I went to uni at 21 to clarify. I took my Game Boy there. So to
be fair, that makes sense.
I've got Pokemon on my laptop, an emulator. I played it like beginning of lockdown. Downloaded Pokemon, started playing on my laptop. It's like the Heart Gold or something. They've redone Gold. It's even better. It's incredible scenes.
I don't know how you can make the best game better.
I preferred Ruby and Sapphire. Third generation was my favourite.
I'd clapped out by that point.
You missed a lot, Thomas. You got some big dragon spitting shit at you. It's incredible scenes.
Right, can we stop?
Oh, sorry, Dad. Fun police are here.
I'm going to download this.
Look, we are filming this for YouTube now.
Now everyone can see how the fun police behave.
And I just want to make sure we're hitting them with some decent chat, not just 10 minutes of Pokemon.
My existence is decent chat, so it's laughing. You're welcome. All right, what's on our first? Let me check my notes.
We're not doing topics yet. We're just doing the pre.
I thought we were just catching up, mate.
This is the catch up. You guys haven't told me anything interesting you've done.
I'm doing another nutrition course because I can't stop learning.
Fucking hell, man.
I know.
You can't pipe up. You've done 12 skiing courses. Suddenly it's a problem.
I'm going to be a level 6 apple by the end of this. No, I'm doing another course that starts in May. So
what's that about?
It's the same company Prescript as I did my biomechanics one, but now it's going to be nutrition. So applied nutrition for like athletes' performance and stuff.
That's going to be cool.
You're going to do a course on how to look more like Dave Grohl as well while you're at it.
He's taking a course with me.
He's got sunglasses. Is this because you knew we were going to be filming today?
Oh, 100%.
No paparazzi, please. I don't want to be recognised on the street, guys. Come on now.
What did you send us earlier? With
Nothing.
you getting...
Nothing.
Oh, yeah.
You shouldn't have... No, you walked right into that one.
So earlier on, like, Harry always sends us really banal crap on the old group chat.
Yeah, that's me.
And
I do that.
This included a DM from someone saying, 99% sure I just walked past you on the high street. Worst out of saying hi, but just wanted to say I love your YouTube videos. Have a great day.
Was her name Chloe?
Her name was Chloe.
Hi, Chloe. You're probably not listening to this, but you should have said hi.
She might do. She knows you from the YouTubes.
She follows you on the tubes. Chloe looks delightful. Touch base, Harry. Why not?
Thanks, Dad.
Connect.
Lord, do you have LinkedIn?
Yeah, I'd love to connect.
Are you two on LinkedIn?
I am on LinkedIn. Yeah,
I haven't updated it for
like 5 years. Should we all connect on LinkedIn?
Oh, no,
all right. Yeah, go on.
No,
I'll make a Pump Fiction page. And then we can put co-host on our LinkedIn.
It's not a bad shout.
It looks good for something.
We could create a business, a Pump Fiction business.
Entrepreneur.
Oh yeah, as you say, entrepreneur. It's a very American word.
American.
What?
Do you ever watch Jersey Shore?
No. Oh, Gymtown Laundry.
Oh yes. I remember. I never forget over when Mike the Situation goes. He goes, where are you from? She goes, I'm from Canada. Oh, you're from Canada. And she's like. And then they look at each other. They just takes his top off. And that was it. I was like, what an interaction!
I think that program is responsible for why a lot of young lads look the way they do now, because that was like one of the earliest reality TV shows, and loads of all the English ones followed suit with like Made in Chelsea and Geordie Shore, obviously.
The Valley.
I
actually like that.
All those programs, I think, were quite toxic because they set a real precedent for all guys to look that way and all girls to look...
An outrageous behaviour.
Yeah, I was going to say, behave really inappropriately.
Excessive really lifestyle,
badly.
yeah.
The only... I used to love that programme just because it's like, you watch something just this is so stupid. I love it.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. Vinny and Paulie D were the best duo ever. They were just better.
It's the situation.
He's had a bit of a shambles, hasn't he? He's been a bit of a pickle. I think he went through a period of addiction. Then I think he got done for tax evasion, like mass tax evasion. I think they were threatening to send him to prison or something. I've watched the reunion, so they gave us
very quotable though.
He is very quotable.
What is the short girl? What's her name?
Snooki.
What's Snooki doing now, Harry?
She's got children, I think.
Well, that's fine, but like, has she achieved anything else with her existence?
I feel like her and J-Mal are probably doing okay. Paulie D's a really good DJ, I know that. Like, he's known.
I think I remember that guy. Yeah. Did he have like slick back hair? Yeah.
Hey, Paulie D!
He spent like 3 hours on his trim. Charles, I get out of bed. Do you know what I mean? I'm not spending 3 hours on anything apart from the toilet.
So now he's a well-renowned DJ.
You actually do spend 3 hours on the toilet a day.
Yeah, minimum. 100%. Ask Mike, he knows. I've recorded every
time. All these voice notes are just this echoey Echoey Harold.
I think we should
Plop.
get between each episode, you should record Harry's toilet thoughts on voice notes. And
You don't want to go there.
No, but we can play. Each episode we can play back a single one of Harry's toilet thoughts.
Well, I sent you a vlog earlier and you didn't even appreciate it.
Well, that was you breaking into my car.
Yeah, but I vlogged it.
Oh, okay, fine.
It was really. I thought it was good.
That's
good.
good. We'll put it on the story later.
There was a
Send it
guy
to me.
watching me the whole time, and then when I finished, all right, I'm going now, and I stopped. He just looked at me and went, and I was thinking, oh, God, what do I do now?
Well, you had a set of keys. It's not that fucking
He
suspicious.
probably looked at you and thought, bloody influencers.
He's probably thinking,
What are they doing?
influencers caught in the wild.
What are they doing?
That TikTok page is the best thing I've ever seen. It's like influencers.
It's massive
in the
on
wild.
Instagram as well.
It's huge, and it's just people doing them. Oh, I love it. And
It's
they're just
disgraceful, some of the stuff that people do in front of families and the shit like
honestly, it's incredible. I see
I like
dudes literally going down their pants on like a mountain with loads of kids walking past them. That's not appropriate. Like
Just for that one picture. Which
literally, I was there like.
Would get lost in the algorithm.
I bet it was probably a cool photo though, but like it's probably still not appropriate though, is it, mate?
that. We've all done some shit for a cool photo, though, at the end of the day. Let's be brutally honest.
What have I done for a cool photo? I don't know.
You shaved your entire body.
Not for a photo.
How is that going, by the way? How's the whole full body shave vibe?
It's all right. I'm still a bit rash in the chest. I think because I went against the grain there, so I was a bit. You know what I mean?
What do you mean? I just whack the razor all over it. It's job done. You don't have to. It doesn't matter what grain you
I was
follow.
going.
Were you just like carving at it
Yeah,
Do it
with a butter
actually in the
knife?
shower.
Yeah.
And make sure the water's actually hitting you.
No, I got shaving foam for that. I just turned the shower off and then.
Oh no, it's better if you keep it a bit moister, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find, if I've ever done it, I find with a bit of water just.
Oh,
sorts
Mike,
that
I'd
out.
like to see that.
No.
Show me your nipples.
We're on video now. This is the prime time.
No, if anything, it's not. It should have been better in the last episode.
I'll do it again. I think I'm going to make it a regular thing. I just can't be asked. It's just effort.
I'm just maintaining the chest at the moment. I'm happy with that.
No, mine gets. It's summer now. I've got to be agile. Love it.
You've got to be agile.
Aerodynamic.
You're going to be doing the luge at some point.
You not seen me run up those stairs earlier,
I
Mike?
heard you running up the stairs.
Agile.
I want to know what your 100 meters time is now with this new trim.
Click. Literally blink. It's gone.
Blink.
100 meters. Completed it.
Good. Anything else before we move into the actual official episode vibes? Episode 10 this is going to be. Michael, anything else new with you?
No, nothing
Cool.
podcast worthy.
Fine. Anything new with you?
I got a haircut.
Good.
That's it, really.
Good.
Wow, I didn't realise we were lowering the bar all the way down to haircuts.
I'm a bit sweaty, and that's about it, really.
Quick question.
Oh no.
And it's a random Instagram question. You know, like you see a lot of gender reveals, right, on Instagram?
Oh yeah.
Why do people celebrate a gender reveal? Like, why does it matter?
Because people like to let other people know their business because it makes them interesting.
Yeah, but like they have this kind of like tenseness about it and then this crazy reaction, like this was exactly what they wanted. It makes me feel like it's a bad thing. I don't know.
I feel like, I don't know. I've never
Don't you
had
think it
child,
opens
so I
up a
don't know.
problem, especially like if you really wanted a certain gender and then
Yeah.
you don't, and you can't hide that in your face.
You've now filmed that
You've
process.
now filmed you going, another one.
Like all these like kind of
Take it back.
Yeah.
like toxic masculinity vibes where they're desperate for a boy and then it's a girl or whatever. Like, I don't know.
They're like, yeah, I think.
I just see them sometimes and I just think this is really weird.
I've got friends that just said we're just going to wait until
Yeah,
the
exactly.
baby arrives. And then,
I can understand the convenience of knowing, but
Yeah.
it's the whole kind of celebration thing of what sex it is. Like, get over it. Whatever it is, it's going to be great. So just,
Yeah, if I had a baby, I don't think I'd really care. I'd be like,
Daddy Harry.
no, I can't.
Daddy Harry.
Oh,
That's-
imagine me with a child. Honestly, can you
I actually
imagine?
think you'd be surprisingly
I
responsible.
think you'd be fine. I mean, the way you look after your water bottle, I think the
Leave.
child's going to be all right.
Where is it?
That is your baby.
With me at all times.
And do you know what? It's not got any dents in it. It's not battered.
Did you not see the last one?
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
that I used as a hammer.
Well, I hope you'll look after this one better.
That's why my sister got me another one because I battered the other one so badly.
I'm definitely celebrating our 50th episode with custom printed Pump Fiction water bottles.
All I want is a bottle that has your face and then Mike's face and then my face at the
You
bottom.
want to be on the bottom?
Yeah, so I can be underneath you both.
Okay,
Dream come true.
that's a lovely trio.
Speaking of water bottles,
We are quite the triad, everyone.
I feel so hydrated. Remember, you're not pissing clear, you're living in fear. T-shirt.
T-shirt right there, guys. Another bodybuilder's died, Cedric.
Yeah, bare sad.
What's this about? I'm like,
Bare sad.
I'm so disillusioned. Like, I was talking to Ryan, my friend who is a top bodybuilder, and he's basically just like, that's it. I'm not interested in getting bigger anymore.
It's scary. Like it's the thing is, well, we spoke about this before the podcast started. It's the age range of death in the bodybuilding world and last, like, even fitness world. Who's that Scott guy died recently in the fitness world, but was he younger than 29?
Can't answer that.
I can't remember his name. I can't remember his age, but he the age of death in the last year is between 29 years old and 52 years old. That's mad.
It's pretty ridiculous, and it does show you the stuff, the extremes that these guys are going to for that look, or to beat people, or just to be better. I just think
the thing is, you got to then, with people who are competing in the open at like high levels, like Cedric, for example, I feel like there's a high likelihood if you said to him, by the way, you're going to die at 44, he'd probably say that's fine with me.
I've listened to some podcasts where people have just talked about, like...
Was it 44 he died? Or
Cedric died at 44, yeah.
They're sad, man.
I met him. He's a nice guy.
They did that with Olympians, didn't they? They did that research. It's like if you could win an Olympic medal in the next 4 years and, like, you know, something like
take 10 years off your life.
Take 10 years off, or die the year after. Like, so many of them said yes.
Yeah, but it's all they know. It's just
very,
sport is life.
Like, focused, aren't they, on what they want.
Harry, you're going for a pro card now, I hear.
One day, give me 3 to 5 years, I reckon we'll get it.
I'd love you to get a pro card.
Team Pump Fiction are going to be at Olympia one day with this guy.
I don't think I'll ever get to Olympia, but
I'm going to build my whole career just off the back of yours. That's what I'm going to do.
That's what this podcast is.
I don't have a career, guys. I don't have a career.
Not yet. Not with that attitude. You're not.
Sorry, mum.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, it's a weird
manifest
destiny, right?
It kind of goes into the thing that Mike mentioned like a few times is performance isn't healthy. And that's looking like physically it's not, but then also psychologically that outlook of I will die for this is also probably not healthy.
But then that's why these people get to where they get to, because they're literally like, I will sacrifice my life.
They're willing to do what you want.
Yes.
I've been in dark places before competitions and stuff.
Yeah,
because you got to, you're so focused, laser focused. It takes your eyes completely off the ball with other things.
Got a channel.
It's all about the channel.
Cheek.
I'm quite happy to progress with this episode.
Let's go.
Yes.
I've got my notes ready.
Fine. All right, we're back. It's episode 10, and these guys are dicking around with notepads.
I'm taking notes, thank you very much.
I'm also taking notes.
Yes, Christy Fellows, hi. We're on video. Woohoo! Harry, say hello to the camera this time. Michael,
hello.
Say hello. Yes,
hello.
And if you are listening on Spotify or iTunes or any other platform, you can get us on YouTube now.
This chair's quite comfy. I still want to steal it. I'm just saying.
You are plotting to steal a few of these chairs.
100%. When we stop recording here, I'm taking this chair. Do you reckon they'll notice?
Probably not. They've got quite a lot of chairs here. I mean, there's a lot of chairs in this room,
yeah, but
alone.
I want this chair. Like, these chairs aren't optimal.
No, I know the style of chair you wish.
It's nice. I like it. I could sit here.
Good chair chat. Anyway, episode 10 is here, and we got 3 subjects for today. We're going to be talking about, Michael, qualifications.
Qualifications, indeed.
Why are we talking about qualifications, Michael?
I don't know. That's a good question. Are they important? Are they needed? What do they stand for?
How can you differentiate between good and crap information, stuff like that?
It. I suggested fitness trackers because I just got a new one.
Nice. I've been wearing mine. Mine's disgusting because I wear it all the time.
I got a new Garmin because I'm a multi-sport kind of man now, so I felt like I needed to track that shit. And subject 3.
I'm checking it. It's calories at restaurants on the menus and stuff.
There you go, Harry. You contributed something. Well done.
Got it, guys. Got it.
Oh, well done.
There you go. No, I'm smart.
And why are we talking about that today?
Because the UK have just introduced that they're going to start putting calories on
they have
menus.
started it.
Although if you need over 250 employees or something like that, so the bigger restaurants, kind of like chainy stuff.
Yeah.
So I want to clarify, it's not 250 employees in a single establishment. That's across.
That would be an enormous.
That's a lot of people.
That is.
I don't know 250 people.
I've done some marketing work for various restaurant chains, and quite a big one I did work for, not like huge, but they've got quite a few venues. It came out that the owner had just basically guessed at the nutritional info and put it on the website.
That's the thing.
Fun.
That's obviously, I know, is this going to be our last topic? We say that for
it's the last one, yeah.
Okay, I'll save my thoughts.
Yeah, but then when like one of the experienced managers found out about it, he shit himself because it was a massive legal problem waiting to happen.
Right people there.
But I won't be mentioning who that is
until after the podcast.
Yes. How is everyone doing? We're well, aren't we? We're well. We're well?
Yeah, we're well.
We're well.
Chris is that guy that when you're just like, you're at a party and you're really not enjoying it, he goes, Mike, we're having fun. So I'm actually really annoyed that. Mike, we're having fun.
We have to
Are we having fun?
I'm the motherfucking hype man over here. I have to keep you lifted. Your spirit, you're like a fucking roller coaster. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down.
I keep you on your toes. I'm inconsistently consistent or consistently inconsistent.
Yeah, we still love you very much.
At least someone does.
We're very much a family. We're close-knit. We're this close to living together.
Yeah. Oh, God, that would be a nightmare. I'm hard to live with.
Your poor good friend who you will be living with.
Yeah.
Is that still happening?
Yeah.
Have you found anywhere yet? Because your story sounded horrible from the last experience.
No, we meant to look for somewhere on Tuesday, but the tenants, and we already said, like, if this looks as good as it does on the photos, we'll go for it. But the tenant's got COVID, so we've had to.
I thought you were going to say you got catfished by a property.
No, God, imagine.
Just the front door when you open is nothing. It's just
full cardboard cutout.
Yeah. Damn, again.
We're gonna. I think we're viewing it next week, and if it's good, then we'll go for that. Which means, hopefully, provided it all goes well, we'll be moving early June.
Good.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
Liking the black t-shirts, guys.
Mine's got stuff on the back.
Yeah.
I'm an anime.
The way to get that in quickly, just in case.
I can't.
I think we've seen this one. Yeah, it's got like a Tokyo kind of vibe to it.
Because I'm going to Japan next year, so I'm prepping.
Are you actually?
Australia this year, Japan next year.
Oh, there you go.
And we're going to DEFCON 1 as well, which is in the Netherlands next year as well.
I don't know what that is.
It's a big hardstyle festival.
Oh my God.
Like Jason, I was like, shall we just go? I was like, yeah, go on.
What, like happy hardcore or something?
No, like, like proper like...
Oh, you're heavy shit, yeah.
No, not like death. Oh, I wish it was death. I wish it was like a Lorna Shore festival. I'd be all over that.
A Lorna Shore festival, that's never going to be a thing. I'm sorry.
One day in my eyes it is. It's like death metal, screamo, hardstyle, sad songs. That's what I do.
what your real come down?
That's literally what I listen to.
Big drop off at the bottom to sad songs.
You build up to it. I literally listened to a playlist called Sad Songs to Cry To Part 1.
Someone said about your Spotify playlist that it had a bit of a kind of weird slow kind of sad start to it.
Yeah, that's what, because we did it with the intention of...
you did? I wanted to lift people up from the beginning.
Yeah, I thought we were going to like ease into it. So what I did is like the first 5 songs like kind of ease into it, like warm-up songs, yeah, like a bit slow, a bit sad, then suddenly hype, and then...
Why the fuck do you want a sad song for your warm-up? You want to be uplifted and ready to go.
No, you need to channel that emotion.
No, the pain keeps me going.
Yeah, honestly,
I thought about putting some Hans Zimmer at the beginning of mine, really start it off.
Bits. Give me the Interstellar soundtrack and I will scream. I wanted a mixture of like a bit of bangs. That's what I'm
going to watch Inception.
Honestly, I just can't.
Sorry, I'll completely derailed you. Where are you going with yours?
Yeah, I was going to say like I wanted like a bit of a dynamic mix, but then halfway through I got bored and just kind of threw some random shit in there. So if anyone's chatting shit about my playlist, throw a hand, see what happens.
There you go. I've been playing a bit of Einaudi on the piano, if you like a bit of that sort of vibe. That's kind of like this Hans Zimmer vibey.
I was going to say, is that a Lorna Shore song? Because I don't know.
No.
I know Chopsticks on the piano.
Cool.
I know Chop Suey.
Had my piano tuned this week. That was fun.
Another thing he's done.
level 4 piano.
Yeah, I'm a level 6 piano tuner.
I did all the piano grades when I was a kid, so you know.
That was a long time ago. You still remember?
Yeah.
Do they even have pianos then?
It's like over 20 years ago.
Woolly Mammoth Bones.
Right.
Sorry.
Subject number 1.
Disrespect.
Yeah, it's always disrespect in this family. So
it's actually funny that number 1 is about qualifications and he is a level 4 piano tuner.
He's also a level 6
No, I'm not a level 4 piano tuner. I had my piano tuned. End of story.
Just man, how you got all these qualifications and things that are completely irrelevant to fitness? But you're doing a fitness podcast. We need to get you a PT qualification. That's what we need.
A BTEC.
A BTEC.
Yes,
sports.
I've done a lot of things in my time. Okay, is that a problem?
I like it. I think it adds a bit of spice.
I was in the music industry for 10 years. So
I used to actually be a celebrity.
Yeah,
people used to ask me for autographs.
Fucking right.
People nearly asked you for an autograph.
Oh no, that's happened before actually.
No, it hasn't.
Was it 2017?
He remembers it well.
I think it was Body Power 2017.
Did they come up to you like,
you were at Body Power and someone wanted your signature?
Oh my god, you're the guy that did the kickflip.
Guys, I want to let you know my kickflip was fucking clean, just to clarify. But I walked into, well, I want to say her name was Valerie or something. And I walked in, and we were walking into Body Power. She was like, oh my God, I follow you on YouTube. I was like, who? I was like, you look at me. I was like, shit. And we were the boys. She was like, can I get your autograph? I was like, oh, I don't know how to do this.
I don't know how to do autograph.
So it was a Body Power leaflet where they had all the athletes, and you would sign like the signature underneath the athlete. I was Simeon Panda that day.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. I can see the resemblance.
I was Simeon Panda.
Yeah, similarly natural.
Yeah.
He was one of those ones, wasn't he, that just big time.
22-inch arms claims natural.
Him and Ulysses and...
Oh, I love him. I actually love him. He got called out for having really bad gyno on stage.
I remember that.
So that's just natural gyno. I'm like, Chance, you're on so much gear. I can literally taste the radio.
Can you quickly just tell the uneducated what gyno is, please?
Gynecomastia is a build-up of like breast tissue underneath.
You literally start to grow breast tissue.
Yeah, and it's usually due to hormonal fluctuations, largely estrogen and prolactin from my reading, and that's commonly associated with performance-enhancing drugs, because obviously when you got testosterone...
It can occur naturally.
It did. I had gyno when I was going through puberty.
Yeah.
They thought
that's quite common. Yeah, you have a firmness, don't you?
Oh, they thought it was breast cancer.
Fucking what?
Did I not tell you about this?
You're a young man. How have they not figured out what it was?
I was like 20. I was like 20, and then
colourful.
Yeah, it really is. So I had it for like over a year, and it really hurt, as in like horrendously painful. And then I went to the doctor. I was like, boys, this is a bit much, man. It really hurt. Someone nipple crippled me as well.
And that was painful.
Oh, I nearly cried.
Yeah.
And then I went to the doctor, and they're like, okay, Harry, we're going to refer you. I was like, fine, no sweat. And then I get a call like 2 weeks later from a hospital saying, Harry, we would need you to come in for a biopsy. I was like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that to my tit? And they're like, yeah, we need to screen you for breast cancer. I was like, imagine that I had my Snapchat ready about to be like, guys, look. And then I went in. But Jason
content is content.
Literally, Jason came with me, and I think I was 20. I must be about 20, because Jason and I became friends at 19. And I tell you now, that was one of the most painful experiences of my life.
Biopsy, I've never had one.
Honestly, I mean, so I'm lying there on the bed, and she looks at me, she goes, this is really going to hurt, and I'm really sorry. And I was like, brilliant, thanks for making me feel great.
I'm relaxed.
Yeah, literally, and this fat off needle. I mean, like,
it's like quite thick. It's like you can almost, it's like a straw.
I've had that done in my finger.
Oh, it was thick, and then she goes into my nipple, like not the tip of the nipple, but like the pink on it. And she stabs. She goes, "Are you ready?" I was like, "Just do it, please." And she stabs it, and I'm there like, that really hurt. But she hadn't even gone through the lump at this point. She just actually pierced the nipple, and I was like, and then she goes, 3, 2, boom. I was like. I'm there, like the whole time I'm literally just there.
My new friend's there, I can't cry.
No, he wasn't. I literally, my face didn't change. I was like this. I was like, and she went in, and then they went in and out because they had to get enough cells on the thing. Yeah. And they pulled out, it just bled everywhere and had bruised nipple for about a week. That was it. Okay. And then luckily it wasn't cancer. But that's pretty much what happened.
If it gets really bad, that you have to surgically remove the tissue, don't they? Because it won't reduce in size.
It was actually, I think they put it down to it was heightened prolactin. Then when I went on loads of antidepressant medication, like the year after, it shot my prolactin up even higher. It was like 1,500.
Do you think maybe it tanked your testosterone a little bit? So then,
I think my testosterone got checked. It was always blessed. So
okay.
I cannot wait for your autobiography in years to come. The story of Harry Moore will be just so colourful.
I've got so many things I can never share publicly. Just so many things I can't share.
Your school days.
Do it as a ghostwriter and just change all the names.
I'm going to do it, and then when I'm like on my deathbed, I'm going to be like, now you can release it. Everyone will be like, you are strange.
You strike me as someone who probably needs that to employ that service, that if you die by accident, they swoop in and basically get rid of any weird evidence of strange shit that you've done.
100%.
So you're going to need that, aren't you?
His mum.
100%. That's why I've got Austin, if you're listening, that's your job, thanks.
To swoop in and just clear all your internet history, just burn all your belongings, all the stuff in that bottom drawer that no one's allowed to go in.
I like
all the hats.
I'm very all the hats. I'm a curious man. I like seeing what's going on in the world.
Good.
That's a very diplomatic answer.
Right.
Thanks. I've been practicing.
That's quite enough of that.
Okay, sorry,
I'm going to hit us with a. And we're going to move on to the next the first subject.
We didn't even get to the first.
We didn't even get there. So, Michael, if you could lead with this one, please.
Okay, so we wanted to talk about qualifications, and I've actually done some notes on this. So I thought it would be good to discuss, do we think qualifications are important in our industry? Because that's all we can really talk about.
Well, we can probably start by saying that I have no qualifications in fitness.
Get him out.
And yet I'm still sat here, and you guys take me seriously.
Yeah, we do. You're a serious man, serious operator.
I was forced into this. I didn't have choice.
You didn't write help on a bit of paper to the screen.
I think the way I see qualifications is like a driver's license. Just because you have one doesn't mean you're a good driver, but you need one to legally drive, sort of thing. So when it comes to like influencers and stuff selling programs online, I don't really like them doing so if they aren't qualified to do so. But flip around, I also fully acknowledge that qualifications don't necessarily mean, I guess, quality of information. I've seen Joel Seedman, PhD in kinesiology, pushes a lot of shit. He's got like PhD. You got PhD?
I have not got a PhD.
You got a PhD? I don't have a PhD.
Fact.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and he's just full of crap. But then I also know people who aren't qualified that know a lot of shit. Do you know what I mean? So, but again, I think if you're selling something, you should probably be qualified just to say you've got that driver's license so you can drive that car.
I think a qualification indicates a level of competency.
Yeah,
which
I agree.
Standardizes things and helps.
I agree.
My problem with the fitness-related qualification, especially for your average PT out there, is that qualification can be obtained in as like little as a couple of weeks.
And it's not all of them, but a lot of them are just absolute nonsense.
And so ultimately, if you've got your PT level 3, it basically, I think we talked about this before on the show, it basically just means that you're now officially set loose to become a PT at any gym, and people, unsuspecting public going in there, are going to look at you as the oracle of information.
Yeah. And all of PTs are the same. You all have the same understanding. You all have the same ability. It's like, well, no.
I've seen people, PTs in the gym, like a punter will come up to them and ask them what the, your standard Roman chair back extension. Ask them, oh, what does this do? And they've just, like, bold as brass said to them, oh, this is for doing your abs. You lean back on it. And I'm just at the opposite end of the gym, like, what?
Well, yeah, I think the level 3 qualification really, I mean, it must be like A-level standard, like biology and a little bit of exercise science. It's really, and like.
But if I did that, then I'd suddenly be allowed to be
legally, yeah, I'd be sued, really. It'd be harder to sue you.
I'd be allowed to be a PT, which is fine, and that's why I've never been a PT, because I'm not qualified.
It's like what I said to Ryder, because obviously Ryder's doing his level 3 at the moment. I said, Ryder, you're going to have to dumb yourself down for this. I hope you know that. Because a lot of the stuff that they would teach me and the syllabus would teach, I completely disagree with, and we actually know to be wrong. For example, when they talk about, even gave me the example of optimizing rest periods for hypertrophy, the example they gave was less than a minute. So, but research has actively proven that's not correct. But you present them with that, they're like, no, we have to for the syllabus.
And that's the thing, it's the syllabus. Yeah. And that's the thing that's been approved and accredited, and then this is the issue. I said years ago to one of the PTs that I was hiring, I said to him, just get your tickets, you don't get sued. But really, that level 3, that should be taught at like school. Like, I think most people should acquire most of that knowledge, because just think, like, if you left school knowing, roughly speaking, how to build an okay program, how basic nutrition worked, how to build muscle, you could then probably just jump into a gym with a membership and give it a good go.
Yeah, you probably would need to invest in a PT or anything.
And it would push the standard up of PTs, because then you would need to go and get applied biomechanics as like the standard, because most people get taught what you get taught at level 3.
The way I kind of see things with qualification is ultimately you need to qualify. You need to get the qualification to start your journey, to start your learning journey. So
definitely.
It's like, okay, you qualified, now you start learning.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think a lot of it is like PTs will get this qualification as they think, oh, becoming a PT is a good job and I can make good money out of it. They get the qualification and then they sit back with that and expect everything just to unfold automatically. Yeah. Well, it doesn't. No. And it's all about training on, finding a niche. Let's say maybe you want to move more specifically into kind of athletics or boxing forms of training, or aesthetics, or whatever it is. Find a niche of sorts is one good thing, and another good thing is what Mike does, and that's just constantly learn about the body, the biomechanics, the nutrition, all that sort of stuff.
The good thing is Mike goes through courses and chooses courses that are actually credible, because there are a lot of shit courses out there, Mike chooses like, this is good one, and like this is solid, and he'll invest. It's quality over quantity sort of thing. But I honestly, the prime example of like the standard of PTs, honestly, it depends on the gym you go to, but Pure Gym, for example, They hire anyone and everyone. They don't give a shit what you know.
Ultimately, a lot of those kind of big commercial gyms aren't actually hiring you because you're a PT. They're hiring you because you're going to keep the gym floor clean.
Yeah. You are
customer service representative.
You are really a cleaner.
Yeah. You're a babysitter as well. You just look after the gym. No disrespect. Like there are some great coaches that work at that stair. Like, that's where I started.
Yeah, that's where I started as well.
But I know what you mean. Like it's very easy to then you wear the uniform all of a sudden. It's like the whole thing. Like when people put on a police uniform, it's like now you're a police officer. It's like you can do what you want. It's like PTs now in a gym wearing a PT uniform. It's like
I think
careful.
The sad reality is because it's actually really hard to get a job as a PT without any experience, whereas that's where pure gym comes in. You don't need any. But the sad thing on top of that is some of the PTs they hire is straight up dangerous. And I can give examples. I won't give names, obviously. But when I started in pure gym, I remember walking through that door for my interview, and one of the guys who taught me to PT was walking out. I said hi to him, and then fast forward, when I told him that I'd left, he said, "I nearly told you when you started, please don't work here." And then one of the guys I got speaking to, a PT, first day there on shift, came up to me, "Hi, nice to meet you, I'm blah, blah, blah." Chatting. And within 5 minutes, he tried to sell me Winstrol. And then he was also like his...
That's a drug.
One of his clients was my friend's sister, and she had really bad knee problems. And he was like, "Okay, we're going to get you doing jump squats and things like that." And she was in agony, nearly like really bad. And she messaged me saying, "Harry, can I ask your advice? Is this good?" I was like, "No." And he was putting his client doing so much shit, trying to sell gear to his clients. And I stalk his Instagram every now and then. And he is such a dangerous PT. It hurts me. And the guy who taught me to PT taught this guy as well. He failed his course 5 times. On the 6th time pass, and the teacher said to him, "You are not safe to go into the industry. I will help you, I will guide you, but I think you need to do additional learning because I think you're really going to harm somebody."
Yeah.
You completely ignored him, went straight into a pure gym job.
It's so dangerous. That's the difference between being able to retain information and pass an exam and then actually apply information to what's happening in front of you. That's what makes a good coach. Anyone can pass the exam. Like Chris, you could probably sit the exam and easy. Probably pass. Like right now, if I put one in front of you, you could probably pass because you understand the principles of it. But then there's all the other nuances of being a coach, which they don't teach you on the course, which...
I mean, there's still the whole matter of interpersonal skills that are very important to be a good coach as well.
People buy coaches, not coaching. You've got to get on with the coach.
I think this guy was a really friendly guy, and that's, I think, how he managed to get his clients, because he was very pushy.
Right.
But not like, come at me, he'd walk up to them and be like, "Hi," you got really, really chatty, really kind, get into conversation. He's like, "Oh, come for a trial session." It's like, "Oh, a nice guy, I will." And that's how he kind of lured people in. Also ended up getting him fired, didn't I? Because I called him out on his bullshit, and then in front of the manager, and then he got fired. Felt really bad. But it kind of deserved to be called out to us. I do
think some of that in the industry will slowly weed itself out as the consumer gets smarter and they kind of know dog shit training when they see it. But yeah, there's still, I even see it now on the gym floor. You see someone programming something for someone that's way out of their capability, and you're like, you're doing more harm than good there. But you 100%. Think that just because the person's tired and having a hard time, that the exercise must be effective.
And the other thing to remember is, it is very much trial and error. If you're a new PT, you are not expected to know everything. None of us know everything. We have so much more to learn, and we've been in the industry for over 10 years. It's just, you have to learn when things go wrong and turn a mistake into a lesson, but also continue adding to your knowledge and also trying shit on yourself.
Definitely.
Like, something doesn't work for you because, this exercise is really bad, actually I'm not sure about this. There's a fair chance for some people it may not work as well. You've got to take that into consideration. But then flip around, also goal dependent, biomechanic dependent, stuff like that.
So given that our listener base is probably more the clientele than the PT, well, in most cases,
what to look for in a good PT?
What to look for and how to go about it, because, ultimately, I think for me, you've just got to ask questions. But what other questions are you going to ask these PTs? How long have you been qualified? What do you specialize in?
See, I think one of the first questions I would go to is, this is my goal. How would you suggest we try and get to it?
But then they're not going to know. They're not going to know the answer. But
it's just quick, because I think ultimately, if it ever sounds too good to be true, then, because ultimately, if you say, "What do you specialize in?" anyone can say shit. They don't know if you're telling the truth or not. I think it's like, this is where I want to be. How do we get there?
Yeah.
And let's say, we get you in there 4 weeks. We put you on this. We do cardio only. Then you're like, that does sound a bit too good to be true. Probably bin it off, mate. Or then you ask someone else, like, this PT said this. Is this true? Message us. You will go to PT saying, "I want to lose weight. How can I get there?" They'll say this and this. You send us a message to the Pump Fiction Pod on Instagram, and then just say, "Look, this is what the PT said. is this nonsense or has he got a fair point? And then you say, actually, they're chatting good stuff.
I think we would like to quite challenge some of the stuff that you guys have been told in the past that you've been unsure about. We're ultimately, we get off on, we're fascinated by fitness and training and all the nuances, all the stuff that we talk about, it fascinates us. So if you want to bring stuff to us to talk about or that you're unsure of, we're gonna sit and we're gonna pull it apart and we're gonna try and explain it for you. So come to us.
It could be quite a good segment for a podcast episode. Do you mean like almost debunk, like end of the episode, here's a myth and misconception, let's debunk it, let's pull it apart.
I think one thing you could definitely, maybe not necessarily ask a coach, just go off a referral.
Testimonials are huge.
If you know someone that's worked with a coach and it seems like you're quite happy with the result that they've gotten or the methods, like that can be sometimes a good way to go find a coach.
Well, this is something that we spoke about in a previous show, and I was going to say this before. It's the before and after photo. And I'm not saying that, because obviously a testimonial in itself, I think something that's been said is good. So obviously you get the quotes where people have said, I've worked with such and such for X amount of time. They achieved these results for me. It was a great process. I feel so much better. Also, before and after pictures are fine as long as they're trustworthy, because we've said before.
Variables are consistent. Yeah. Same place, same sort of time, 6 weeks apart.
And they're realistic. Because at the end of the day, like sometimes you'll get a testimonial where it will say, I worked with this person for a year and we achieved this. And to some people that might seem like a long amount of time. But to me, I think it shows that, maybe a plan from a coach shouldn't be a 6-week plan. Maybe you should be looking to get a coach for a long period of time in order to learn, in order to, to do things slowly, because ultimately the quicker you try and go about getting to your goal, the more likely you are to fail or to just go back to how you were before.
Yeah, no, I agree.
None of my clients work on a time frame like that. We go on a month to month. Like they talk about what they want to achieve. I give them a rough estimation how long I think it will take to get there. But I'm like, you might want to tack on a bit of time there because life gets in the way.
A bit of leeway. The other thing to remember is that with PT it's tricky because you are only in control of them for a certain period of time in a week. Like you say you train someone for 2 hours a week. You can only really see what they're doing for those 2 hours a week. You can tell them what to do elsewhere. Whether they listen to it is another story.
No, you can help them build strategies and systems, but ultimately, and educate them. But ultimately, it is down to them. Education
for me is a great thing. If you're going to a personal trainer and in that session, all they're actually doing is just tiring you out and burning calories, then you're taking nothing away from that session. And ultimately, when you stop paying that PT, you've gained nothing other than the fact that you burnt a few calories. If you're going to a PT and they're actually teaching you technique, they're giving you advice, they're talking about your nutrition in between sets and stuff, they're just basically giving you, life tools from their background and educating you, then let's say you can only afford to be with that PT for a couple of months, let's say, or even a year.
Milk it. Learn as much as you possibly can.
Ask questions.
Honestly.
You need to become fascinated with this stuff, because if you do, you'll end up like me, someone who ultimately has no qualifications, but I've done so many different things within the industry of fitness. I feel like my brain has absorbed so much of it because I asked questions.
That's the thing. I always say if the PT can't justify what they're doing, this applies to everyone and everything. If you can't justify what you're doing, you probably shouldn't do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's simple. Why are we doing this exercise? Okay, I don't know. Well, that's a shit answer.
Yeah. There's two other things I would think of from a consumer point of view. Observe, like watch a PT on the floor with other clients. See if you like the way that they come across. Does the client seem like they're having fun, or at least seem like they're enjoying what they're doing?
Seem like they actually get on well.
Yeah. Another thing, how many questions does the coach ask? If you go and speak to a coach who just gives you answers all the time and doesn't ask you any questions, or very often not try and dive for information and try and get data from you, that would be a red flag for me.
Yeah, just simple things like, how's this feeling? Anything holding you back? Do you feel any niggles anywhere? No, it feels good. Oh, I feel like my left shoulder's okay. Talk to me about the left shoulder. When did that happen? Just dissecting.
100%.
Because most people, let's say you're training just a normal gym goer, and they say they've probably got a dodgy shoulder, but they won't tell you because they just think it's nothing. You say, okay, everything feel okay? Yeah, no, good. Body not feeling too fruity and nothing's going on. Actually, yeah, my left shoulder feels a bit tight.
My shoulder did this the other
day. I did a backflip on my shoulder the other day. It's like, oh, there we go. Okay, let's talk about that. Oh, it happens quite a lot, actually. Okay, I didn't know this before. Let's dissect it. It's ultimately an exchange of information. You need to gather as much information about each other as possible, and also about what you're doing.
Well, yeah, because coaching a lot of is guesswork. Like you're applying knowledge you have, but it is individualized to each person, so it's guesswork. So if the coach doesn't ask questions, doesn't have a curious mind, doesn't want to know things, for me that would be a massive red flag. Because even in the consultation, if you say something that would be of interest to them, they should ask and tell me what you think about that. Like it might be something as simple as, have you tried to get in shape before? Yes. How did that go for you? Rather than, well, don't worry, this time we're going to do it. It's
we get you absolutely shredded, guys. Come on.
And then, because you might divulge some information that was like a roadblock, which they could help you overcome this time, but they never would have got to that point if they didn't ask the question.
Also, another thing to consider is don't neglect the value of a relationship. Like, I hate this bullshit of like, a coach shouldn't be your friend. They should be there just to.
You should trust them, though.
I think you can be friends with your coach. Like my coach, for example, we started as coach, like you and Ryan. He's one of my best friends now. Love him to bits. Do you know what I mean? He's a solid dude because not only is he solid because he cares about me physically, but he also cares about my health, my mental health, all sorts, and he wants me to achieve stuff. But we also just chat about. We hang out. We go to cinema together.
But the thing is,
I'm not saying you do that with your PT. I'm just saying, like, for example, with like a coach.
We're like we understand each other.
Yeah.
So therefore, other people that don't really understand why we do what we do or why we are how we are, no one really talks to us about our feelings and that sort of thing. They don't really understand what we go through as people. Whereas when you're surrounded by other fitness people, they appreciate that, especially when you're in the midst of working towards a goal or something, they realize the potential mental pitfalls that are included in that. So to surround yourself with the right kind of people in your circle, if you're focused on achieving a certain goal. Like, for example, if I see so many clients of friends that fail simply because they live in a household or they're married to or their partner doesn't support their goal. So therefore they end up failing because their partner wants to go out for a meal or doesn't like the food that their partner who's trying to be healthy is cooking and all that sort of stuff. It's like trying to quit smoking when your other half is a smoker. It's not going to happen.
It causes conflict as well. I actually say this to clients. I say, have you spoken to people in your circle about what your intentions are? Because they can sometimes sabotage on purpose because they get jealous or they don't like what you're doing, and sometimes people sabotage without even realizing it.
They don't understand.
Just like what Chris said, like, can we just go out again tonight? Go on, it's Friday. And then you're sat there thinking, no, actually I really do need to do it this way today. And they're not bought into what you're doing, and it can conflict.
Well, anyway, we didn't intentionally mean to move on to talking about that. Obviously, we're talking about qualifications.
Yes.
But do we feel like we've ticked enough boxes with the qualification chat?
Yeah, I think ultimately, maybe the conclusion is qualifications are certainly important, but almost don't place too much value on them in sense, like with the PhD example. Just because you've got a PhD doesn't mean you actually know a lot. You're probably very good at that specific field. Bear in mind, PhD isn't just a PhD, it's very isolated to a niche topic in many cases. They're probably really good at that. Doesn't mean they're good at everything. And what you say all the time is that just because they're qualified doesn't actually mean they're a good coach, in the sense that they may not have the personal skills as well, because you can't get qualification to being just a solid person.
Some people are just addicted to learning things. I have to say, a little part of me is a little bit like that. I love acquiring knowledge, and if they never apply it, they're not a good coach. They're just gathering information for themselves. I would say qualifications are good because they show professional responsibility. You have a level of competency. That person that they probably know the general things. However, show your receipts. What are their referrals like? How long do their clients stay with them? These kind of things are really important as well.
I back it.
I'm into it. Well done. That's good. I'm happy with that.
What's next? Sleep trackers, fit trackers. That one.
Topic number 2 is we're going to be talking about fitness trackers, because I just bought a new Garmin Phoenix.
I got nothing.
And to be honest, I was very much in Harry's ballpark for years. I haven't had one. I've not had one.
I used to. Binned off though.
Yeah, and part of me, I've had this for a couple of days, and I'm already worrying whether I should have it.
All the gear, no idea. Remember that? We've said that before,
that's an interesting.
Are you placing too much value and importance on the data it's giving you?
Well, no. So I want to talk about the pros and cons of them, because I just suddenly realised how much. Actually, I did have one about 10 years ago when they were really new, like the early Garmins and stuff. And I've just remembered how I used to just look at it all the time and look at the data all the time. Paralysis
by analysis.
Yeah. Some people get anxious about that. So I was speaking to someone who used to, with their Fitbit, used to be really on it with the sleep, because obviously it does the sleep cycle stuff. They used to get anxiety about going to bed because they knew their Fitbit was going to come back with a negative result the next day. And I was like, it's not good.
I've heard a similar story. There's a book I read. It was about tech and being hooked to tech. And this woman said she literally got addicted to getting her steps in, to the point where she would stop doing other things to go and get her steps in. And it's just showing how far you can take it if you're not
#grind set.
Yeah.
So my initial thing I want to say is that I do think they're good, because obviously I've started running recently, and I was having to run with my phone in order to track my distance and get my numbers and all that sort of stuff. I think with certain sports, they're very, very useful, running especially, or anything that's kind of time related. That has a value. And also being able to monitor my heart rate whilst doing those activities makes me know how I'm progressing with that, because obviously if I do a run and I look at the heart rate and it's ridiculously high, it means that I should probably reduce my pace and build up to that pace. So it's stuff like that where you can actually apply the science behind it with the heart rate and the effort level and your stamina and all that sort of stuff.
So what does yours actually do? What does yours track then? Like obviously heart rate.
Loads of stuff. It does like pulse oxygen.
Oh wow.
It can do stamina, monitor your stamina. I could probably pull up a ton. This one's got like altimeter and all that sort of stuff.
So mine doesn't do much. It doesn't tell the time.
What have you got?
This is a Whoop band. So
I've heard about these things. It's not actually got a screen, has it?
No. So it connects to an app. And it measures your recovery, your sleep, your training, and like your general health markers, so like blood oxygen, heart rate, resting heart rate, things like that. I've worn this for about a year, and I was the same. I never even wore a watch. I didn't wear anything. I just didn't like the feeling of it, and also I just didn't feel like I needed it. It's quite good because it measures things reactively. So it kind of looks at your strain level and says like, right, the next day you didn't get enough sleep, you kind of overworked your heart a bit. Maybe you need to sleep a bit more today, like the next sleep coming up. Maybe you need to take it easy on your training. I don't really live my life by it. I use it as just a check-in. Like it'll let me know, oh, your heart rate's very high. And I have to say, it predicted every time I got sick. It knew because my resting heart rate was elevated, and it would ping me and just say, your resting heart rate's really high at the moment. And I was like, next couple of days, cold. Well, I just had the vid recently, and it just knew all these things. So
the thing I quite like about yours actually is it doesn't have a screen, so I can't just kind of like keep flicking,
scrolling.
And also problem, the kind of like more basic issue I now have with mine is, I can obviously turn this off, but it keeps pinging up when I get a text, an email, a notification, and whereas before, obviously my phone's on silent, I don't live and die by those notifications. I will check them in my own time. Now my wrist keeps telling me, oh, something's happened.
Yes, yeah. And every ping, ding and ring.
It kind of makes me feel rude when I'm talking to someone and I'm looking at my watch or something because it's buzzed and shit like that.
I guess it can be quite distracting too, right?
Yeah, so I'm probably going to turn off a lot of the notifications. But one thing I think, and this has been quite widely reported about fitness trackers, is people, and one of the negative things about them, and I'm not here to say they're negative because I'm fucking wearing one and I really like it, but people stop listening to their own bodily instincts.
Yeah.
That was one of the notes I made here about them actually.
So people will, like you said, either end up focusing on they'll say, I've done my 10,000 steps today, I don't need to go to the gym. But whereas in a normal day, they wouldn't have tracked their steps. They'd have probably done their 10,000 anyway without even thinking. And they'd have gone to the gym just because they wanted to go to the gym. So if you've got one of these, use it for the useful stuff for your sport or so on. But don't live and die by what it's telling you. Still listen to your body is my initial instinct with them.
The way I kind of was approaching them, so I used to have a old Fitbit, but it broke, so I stopped using it. Essentially, I would kind of use it for basic guidelines, but wouldn't rely on it. So I'd use it to track how many steps I did and to check the time if I couldn't be asked to get my phone out, and also to track roughly how much sleep I got, just rough hours, how many hours was I actually kind of asleep. But again, I wouldn't rely on it, I wouldn't obsess over it. It was literally just that. I didn't track anything else, I didn't care about anything else. It's like, this is guideline, but ultimately, how do I feel? I feel okay. So apparently I didn't get as enough sleep, but I actually feel pretty good, so it's probably not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Again, it's just a measure to consider that you can implement to maybe add additional data to your just lifestyle, but you shouldn't rely on it as this is gospel.
Yeah, there's a good book on it called Unplugged actually, that Andy Galpin wrote, and he talks about how it causes, like Chris said, like causes us to get out of touch with our instincts, and actually it can sometimes create goals which cause anxiety, because all of a sudden now you're tracking your steps. Every time you don't hit 10,000, the guilt. You're like, I've been really lazy today. Yeah. You're like, well, no, you still did 8,000 steps. That's still really good. You're like, yeah, but I didn't get the 10. Didn't get the fireworks.
Yeah.
So I hate myself now.
You feel like you failed, essentially.
Yeah.
My one has this thing called a body battery, where obviously it kind of shows like a battery gauge effectively up to 100. And if I don't get enough sleep, then it essentially, I haven't recovered I had a shit sleep last night because I got in late after skiing. And I only able to get like 5.5 hours sleep.
Level 6, guys. Just want everyone to know he's level 6 ski. Last podcast he was level 4, level 6 now.
Level 6 did 2 in his sleep. Yeah. Well, he didn't sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
ski's a level 6. Chris actually, he's a level 6 skier.
Yeah. So therefore, I woke up with my body battery at 81 as opposed to 100 as it was the night before.
Still have it.
Did you actually feel like it was less though?
Yeah, I felt like I knew it was a shit sleep.
Right.
And you can look at it and you can see the deep sleep and the REM, rapid eye movement sleep and so on. Anyway, so this body battery is on 32 now, and I've got to go climbing for 2 hours later. So I'm pretty sure that by the time I crawl into bed later, it's going to be fucking on the floor.
The battery's going to be rubbish.
The thing you've got to remember, guys, is train insane or remain the same. Can we just clarify that is the motto we're going by today?
I think they're good, like Chris said, they're good for cueing, sensing, and learning. Like if you can build I use mine to help with habits. So I know then if I'm getting my sleep cycles consistent, because it will tell me that my sleep health is good. So I know that I'm getting to bed around the same kind of time, kind of getting up at the same kind of time. It's really helped me with that. It's helped me understand a little bit better about sleep hygiene. So trying a little bit better to actually get
fucking
quality.
Wash, man.
Yes, have these stink.
You dirty pig.
You dirty pig. Having an actual good sleep regime. So no screens in bed. I don't have a TV in the bedroom. Like I try not to look on my phone at all. Interesting
stat. Apparently, if you have a TV in the bedroom, you have 33% less sex.
That makes sense. That whole
how can I have 33% less sex than 0? What's going on?
Do you have a TV? Do you have screens in your room?
He's got 8 screens in his room.
That's in the.
If you took all your screens away, you might just find a woman in your bed. Or a man, whatever you're into.
I don't want to get my heart broken. I can't do that. No, I actually do have a TV in my room, but it's never been plugged in.
There you go.
It's not even plugged in. It's in the corner. I forgot it was even there.
The other thing I will say on fitness trackers as well is don't rely 100% on the data, because it's not always accurate as well.
The thing I always approach it with is don't let data determine how you feel. In the sense that, like I said, what your body tells you is probably the most important gauge of information for a lot of people, especially if you're good at understanding your body. Yeah. If you don't feel good, you probably don't feel good for a reason. If you feel good, but then the fitness tracker says, you didn't sleep very well, don't allow that to make you feel bad.
And that happens. There is a psychological phenomenon where that happens, where you're like, I feel great. Oh no, my phone says I'm not feeling good. Actually, you know what? I do feel a bit shit.
Now you come to mention it.
It's that whole it's a helpful guide but a better master. Yeah. Technology's like that. If you're not careful, it can completely control you. So there are pros and cons to them. I'm enjoying the pros, and I'm going to try and at the end of the day, they'll probably help you get some good habits. If you look at your sleep, and you're probably going to gauge that you're not getting enough and things like that. And sometimes they'll give you a little alert to say, go, time to get ready for bed, sort of thing. Yeah, mine does that. And actually, this now is my alarm because it vibrates. Yeah, that's quite. So it doesn't wake me up with the whole that's quite nice actually. Which it's like I call it a haptic alarm. It's just a vibration. That's quite nice. Really nice. Yeah. So that's helpful. Is that why you sleep with it around your cock? No, that's for other reasons. Okay, fine. They're speaking about willies. So it's better than you speaking about your bum all the time. Oh, but there it is. Oh, Chris, all you do is speak about bum holes, Chris. Come on now, grow up. Can we just quickly talk about the fact that you matched with someone on a dating app and then deleted it because you panicked because they were too good looking? 100%. What's the problem with that? Why? That's the modern world, isn't it? Look, guys, I'm not here about... Look, anxiety. I have enough anxiety in my life. You matched with someone that you claimed to be outstandingly good looking, and they clearly liked you, and then you basically shit the bed and got rid of it. Did they message you? Yeah, we chatted back in the day. And Did you get a number? Yeah, 100%. So you got a number though? Yeah. But did you delete the number? Yeah, 100%. Straight in the bin. You know what you need to do? You need to send us the number, and we'll store it in a safe space. So when you're ready, we send the numbers back to you. Look, my anxiety's high enough as it is. I don't
I'm not.
Me and Chris will meet them. We'll go together. We'll meet them for a coffee, and we'll vet them for you.
We can do like that Serrano.
Can you meet my parents, please?
Yeah.
Look, here's the.
Sorry, we don't think we're going to take you to the next round. Harry's not ready for this.
My anxiety is already. Anxiety is a thing for me. It's life at the moment. Always has been.
Are you all right?
I'm blessed at the moment. Well, now I am, because everyone's been. But yeah, I don't want to risk ever making that worse, because then my training suffers, my YouTube suffers, and my career,
You worried you're going to get too happy, you're just not going to take it seriously?
No, it's more that I'm worried I'm going to get too heartbroken and anxious.
No, but breakups make bodybuilders, mate. That's how it works.
Breakups just make me want to do bad things to myself. That's what happens all the time. So
get in the gym, mate. Lift some iron.
I go in the gym 6 days a week anyway. I can't go there anymore.
There is a 7th day there.
It's not optimal. I've got to find the balance between optimization and being sad.
Over optimization.
Well, I'm sorry for delving into your romantic endeavours.
I don't have any romantic endeavours.
That was a firecracker of a topic, that one, wasn't it?
This is why I've
touched paper.
This is why I've now binned off all dating apps and just binned off life.
We do care about you deeply.
At least someone does.
We want you to be happy.
Speed dating, mate. That's where it's at. That's what you got to do.
See, I just how about just?
I've heard on good authority.
I've heard great idea.
I'd love to see you on speed dating.
I think actually you're built for it. You can make small talk with anything and anyone. You got next.
My idea is this: is I spend so much of my life and time speaking to something that doesn't respond to me, being a camera. I can chat to a fucking.
Are you going to be like one of those Japanese people who like marries an inanimate object?
Dream. Honestly, my PC, mine. But honestly, like
you have got a female character that like winks at you on the back of your screensaver, haven't you?
I need to have some attention.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. The thing is,
morning,
I can
Harry.
make conversation with literally a brick wall.
Would you like to turn me on today, Harry?
No, thank you. I want to play Call of Duty.
Are you the guy from Ex Machina, that film which has
yeah? This is bullying. He always says.
Have you seen the new Blade Runner? The remake.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, so he's got
2049.
Yeah, he's got the robot and that, isn't it?
Is everyone attacking me?
The replicant.
Yes, that's the one. But it's on the little thing that goes around his room, and then he buys her that thing that he puts in her head, and she can go somewhere, and then does she die? Can't remember.
Oh, let's not get into it.
Heartbreak happens anyway.
Good film.
Great film.
If I can't maintain, if conversation is dry and I can maintain conversation with a brick wall for over an hour, that's a you problem. That's not a me problem. I want everyone to clarify.
You're going to talk regardless of the audience.
Yeah, I don't care if you care what I'm going to talk about. I care what I talk about. So you're going to listen.
If you go speed dating, you're just going to hold up your phone with one of your episodes and say, look, just watch this for a minute. It's fine.
Everything you need to know is on here.
She'll mention something about booty bands. But actually, done a video on this before.
Yes, stats show that.
On the description
Max recruitment.
Do you want to see the study? I've got one saved on my phone.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we move on to subject number 3, because I feel like we've done fitness trackers.
Yeah, we have smashed it with the best.
Bit of fun there.
Send us a pic of your fitness tracker and tag us in it. What do you use it for?
If you can customize the background, please put all of our faces on your background.
Oh my god, yeah.
And I will send you
look,
a virtual hug.
No one's putting me and Mike on anything. If anyone's getting their face on it, it's you with one of your hats on, isn't it?
My forehead's so big, I'll take up the whole screen.
We're not the big deal. We're not the big deal in the room here.
Neither am I.
Okay, I'm going to hit you with a Q&A question just to
go on.
I love it. I love it. Quick fire round.
Someone's asked us about, and this is a subject that I find quite interesting, eating back calories burned. So
I think initial bad strategy.
So I'm going to read it out. I did this during my deficit and I lost weight pretty efficiently, but I've lately been seeing a lot of people saying do not do this because caloric expenditure data isn't very accurate from things like the Apple Watch, which I'm not wearing, it's Garmin. I'm now in a surplus and building muscle. Should I eat back the calories that my watch thinks I've burned?
I would say short answer no.
Yeah, back it.
Because
it's not consistent.
It's not, and also metabolic adaptation. Your tracker does not take any of that into account. Your metabolism is very unique, like a fingerprint, and there's no tech right now that can tell you what that number is. So you're better off just burning your calories according to your thing as like a bonus. Use your diet to control.
Yes, use the diet. The diet as the variable, not your calories burned. Basically.
Yeah. No, I agree. But then flip it around: is do whatever's works for you.
Yeah.
Like that's how I would approach it personally. Same as Mike and Chris. But if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. You do you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what your goal is that you're working towards. I say that if you were doing from a bodybuilding perspective, I wouldn't do that at all, because ultimately you might have to push quite hard with your cardio, with your fat burning or your diet in order to get that kind of extreme result. So definitely don't do it for that. But for kind of everyday life, and if there's no fixed goal and that stuff, then maybe, yeah, you can eat back your calories, but it really depends on which direction you're heading.
Yeah.
Bless. What about any confessions? Have we got any confessions?
You guys talk amongst yourselves while I have a look. I don't think we have any.
We're the three best friends that anyone can get. We're the three best friends that anyone could have.
No, we do need confessions, so you guys need to do a bit of a job.
Yeah, so basically, if you've made it this far on any of the platforms that this is featured, go on to, where is it? The link tree on our Pump Fiction Pod Instagram page.
Correct.
Click on that and submit a gym confessions, which can be anonymous if you want it to be. Just tick the box.
Yeah, so any crazy shit that you've seen in the gym, any weird stories, they don't even have to be gym related. Just send us your weird confessions.
Did I ever say the ballsack story on the podcast?
Oh, you know what? You have probably so many of them. Give us a little sprinkling.
When I was at a gym, I'll tell you the gym, Bisham Abbey. You know Bisham Abbey?
Yeah.
I walked upstairs. So we used to have the main resistance area was downstairs, and the upstairs was the cardio bit. And as you walk up the stairs, like spiral staircase in the middle of the gym, and to your left was like ab mats. And I looked to my left, and there was a man lying there in very short shorts, no pants on, and his ball sack was on the floor doing crunches. And you know where you're like, don't want to see that. But then you also know that I can't stop staring.
Well, you can't stop staring.
Yeah, I'm a curious man. I don't know what's going on.
You want to assess another man's sack.
Yeah, which sort of nothing wrong with that. I'm very comfortable.
You noticed, I haven't trained in a health club for years, but there was a fitness first where I grew up, and it's always the old guys with their balls out.
Love it.
I was just about, you interrupted me, about to say
sorry.
There is a direct correlation between age of the person and how naked they get in a changing room.
Yeah.
100%. 100. I think you just don't care at that age.
The older they get, they just literally strolling up and down.
Literally like that.
Literally blowing in the wind.
The thing that I find crazy is there's a lot of situations, there any opportunity to get the sack out. So what it is, oh, hi Chris, nice to meet you. Better drop my pants. Do you know what I mean? Just walk into the change room.
Have you seen my balls?
Naked. I'm not even getting change. I've literally walked in here to get a drink. I've dropped my pants to get naked to get that drink, then put them back on as I leave.
Good.
There was
that's not me. That if I were
talking of testicles in locker rooms. There was actually something. I was watching a video. More plates, more dates. Shout out Derek. He did a video about
the fruit actually.
Okay. He did the video recently about that swimmer who transitioned from male to female and was like 400th collegiate, not very good, became like number one female, and they've got a really bad situation. Obviously, the sporting side of it, which is a different topic, but at the moment, the girls who are on her team feel uncomfortable because like she still has testicles. So she'll be getting changed in front of the girls, and they don't feel comfortable.
Getting a nutsack out.
It's kind of a difficult one to manage because they're in the right assigned changing room if you think about it that way.
Yeah,
but then it's a tough one.
It's a minefield, and I don't think we're fully equipped to discuss it. Frankly,
I agree. I agree. But it's just on balls and changing rooms. Just made me think about that.
I didn't know about that. It's a very fair point. It's an interesting topic, but again, I think as Chris said, it's a minefield.
Honestly, I wouldn't have the balls myself to talk about that subject.
See, we did that.
No.
Yeah.
The thing is, Derek, more place, more dates. I really used to rain for the science and stuff, but apparently he started to push out natural testosterone boosters. Apparently he's created.
You've got to pay the bills, haven't you?
Yeah, but that's just, I don't respect the sellouts.
No, I know.
If you want a natural test booster, do you know what you should take? Steroids. Do you know what I mean? It's a test booster.
Bearing in mind, isn't he quite vocal about his...
Yeah, he's hammered bear cycles. He's on TRT. So he is part of a TRT clinic, and he's pushing out test boosting supplements that he thinks will get your testosterone to X amount nanograms per deciliter.
Horny goat weed?
I think he's claiming it will increase your nanograms per deciliter by like 2 to 800 or some shit, which is like, it's a lot.
That is a lot. Yeah.
It's not gonna do that. Do you know what would actually do that? Steroids. But should you do steroids? Absolutely not. I'm just saying they would. But don't. Yeah. But if any of you watching this and like, oh, should I get a natural test booster that you can buy off the Amazon?
No,
shut up.
Get
Don't
some
do
better
it.
sleep.
Yeah,
Maybe eat some more red meat if that's something you can eat.
Control more variables. Recovery. Things like that. Train harder.
Talking of bullshit products that people promote, I got an email from Rockstar Energy Drinks. Is it?
Yeah.
They want to sponsor us.
They wanted promotion of their new fat burning pills
On our podcast.
No, it wasn't to do with that.
Also, fat burning pills, put them in the bin as well. Just saying
exactly.
That. Do you know what's a really effective fat burning pill? Clenbuterol. Should you take it? Absolutely not. That's not good for the heart.
Tell you what's a really good fat burning thing: exercise and eating less.
Yeah, probably eating more for your calories.
Moving more and eating less. That's a really good fat burning method.
The thing is, you've made a massive mistake there because you've presented the fitness industry with something that's true but is also simple. Therefore, it's stupid
and difficult to monetize.
Yeah, that's it. Difficult to monetize. Can you get it in pill form?
If we could,
we can come up with
FDA approved.
We can come up with a pyramid scheme.
It doesn't even need to be approved these days.
Yeah.
Oh shit, me! I'm an arsehole. So we already know that. So someone on my Facebook, I love it. Posted. I don't know what. So they posted that they were battling with, or they had previously been battling mental health. Obviously, that's shit.
Yeah.
All this stuff, and I was like, I'm really interested to read a bit more because mental health got me interested. And if people are vulnerable, I'm always there to listen, sort of thing. And then she finished it with, "But what's really changed my life and helped me overcome depression were these pills.
Juice Plus."
I don't know what it is. Would it be Epic or something like that? You heard that one?
No, it's all the same scheme,
and
just rebranded over and over
me
again.
being the arsehole, I obviously messaged. I was like,
they're so toxic.
She's invited me to the Facebook group. I haven't accepted yet.
Those groups are so predatory, and they get so defensive when they're called out on it. And it's just the amount of money that costs you to get into these things. Like even just as a consumer, not like when you're trying to be part of the business model, because that is also a scam. But when you're just taking the supplements, it's like the amount of money you drop on that, you could probably invest that in a coach.
Yeah, fair point.
Probably take you a bit longer initially, but long term, like
you will learn so much.
Fastest and best are not always the same thing. Very rarely is it the same thing.
All those products are shit anyway.
They're just filled with like all kinds of garbage stuff that's just not good.
They give you a pill full of flour, and you're like, well, cured. Also, I think that I've lost what I was going to say with it. I've been sent an invite to the Facebook group, which I will be joining for our next episode. And apparently they're providing all the science in that group.
Oh, fantastic. Get them on the podcast.
I said, fantastic. Can't wait to look at the research papers and pick them apart.
Yeah. They probably already cherry picked them for you anyway.
I love it. Can we also clarify that papers don't mean everything? I want everyone to know that. Like, there's...
research, it's good, but...
Some of it's really good, some of it's cherry picked, and some of it is they conducted 1,500 studies and they only found 2 with the positive results, so they'll use those 2.
And actually, some of the best studies are the ones that have been done over a long time, but then they're open to all kinds of issues, aren't they? Yeah. Errors in collection of data and validity of data.
Okay, as Ronnie says, it's time for subject number 3.
What even was?
This is a good one because it's about calories on menus in restaurants. We're going to have a big debate about this.
So just quickly, government guidelines have changed, and any restaurant or restaurant chain which employs 250 people or more now, by law, has to tell you exactly what's in their food. And we're talking macros here, we're talking proteins, carbs and fats and calories and all that other stuff.
Big question is, how accurate is that information?
Well, what they technically have to do is that it's a very expensive process. Well, big brands won't find it expensive, but normal, like if you're just on the cusp of 250 employees, it's fucking expensive for them to get that done. So it has to be analysed by a proper company.
Okay.
And they have to, in order to do that stuff, it effectively has to be like, they blow up the food inside a special thing
to get the energy value of the food. They literally have to blow it up.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I'm getting my bits and my notes up.
So I while you're doing that, I actually broke some of my notes into like some different things for us to talk about. So it's like, what do they think it will do? Why do they think it will work? And then what assumptions they're making?
But it's got to be for transparency, surely, just because ultimately we don't know. And it's going to force a lot of big chains in order to actually evaluate the nutritional content of food and not just put out what they think people want to eat.
And what's cheap.
Yeah, and what's cheap as well, because ultimately the fact that they have to do this is going to, if they do this analysis and it pulls up the information about their portion of chips being 1,000 calories, they're going to shit themselves and go, actually, maybe we should fucking change that. So here's an example. Honest Burger. Have you been to Honest Burger?
I haven't actually.
I have a few times.
Bloody good burgers.
Yeah.
And bloody good chips as well.
Not a fan.
That rosemary salted chips, mate.
I just think
fucking bang.
You know, there's the deadest chips, KFC.
Collapsed, awful, horrendous.
But that's a historical fact. They've always been their weakness. No one goes there for the chips.
Some, you know what? Someone does, and that makes me feel really
Someone's literally watching this podcast right now saying,
fuck's sake, something with the chips.
I go there for the chips.
And the gravy.
And then you know what I say? Well, you're wrong.
Just quickly, if you go to KFC for the chips, let us know.
Please stop listening to the podcast.
Okay. or let us know.
Don't let us know. It's not worth it. Also, before we continue with the conversation, I feel like it's appropriate to throw out like potential trigger warning, because we're going to speak a lot about food. We're going to go into the realm of, I know I'm going to go into the realm of eating disordered and disordered eating. So a little trigger warning out there, just so if it's not...
Approach it with an open mind, and also be careful.
And also, if you feel like this is a conversation that you could upset you, please don't continue listening. Please close the podcast.
Just, see you later.
Prioritize your mental health over listening to our nonsense.
Well, I can't remember what I was going to say. Oh, yeah, Honest Burger. So they evaluated their chips incorrectly initially and thought it was 1,000 calories a portion. They then realised they tested the calories before they were refried for the second time, and then they refried them a second time, and they shrunk even further, and then they became like 600 calories. But what they then posted about saying is it's made us realise that we should offer healthier options, because previously when you ordered their burger, it came with chips regardless of whether you wanted them or not. But now they've basically said you can now order every burger, and if you don't want chips, you can either have it with slaw or salad for the same price, and that's fine. So So in that respect, it's made them, and it probably has made other brands evaluate what they're putting out to their client base and whether their options are, balanced enough. So for me, that's an early win in this process.
So what do we think the government are trying to achieve by putting calories on menus?
I think it's just transparency. Surely people need to know this stuff.
I feel like they're trying to tackle obesity with it. That's obviously the ultimate thing that's coming to. But the sad reality is. Sorry, guys, I've got this.
Because I was going to say is, do they think then that by showing people calories that people will consume less calories? Is that what their goal is?
Menu labelling with calories alone did not have the intended effect of decreasing calories selected or consumed. Study there, showing that one. So yeah, it actually has been proven in multiple studies actually that it's not particularly effective when encouraging people to be wary of their calorie intake. The only time it ever was effective was if more context was added. Surrounded, yeah.
Okay.
Also, there's another one there which talks about this talks about the negative impact. So beyond the initiative's questionable utility, there has been a lack of consideration as of yet to the unintended negative implications this initiative may have on eating disorders in the general population and those attempting to recover from an eating disorder. The objective of the current commentary is thus to argue that in light of evidence of minimal benefit and the potential for harm, nutrition labelling on menus may be a misguided public health initiative. I've got like 3 studies. Thanks, Austin. You sent me these. You're the best.
I mean, it is wrapped up. You can kind of see where they're trying to go with it, though. I think what I was trying to get to was the point of like basically what you said, which is they want people to be more aware of the calories they're consuming. However, there are a couple of assumptions in my head that
they actually know what they're looking at.
Well, yeah, 100% there's that. There's what Harry said, which is the information accurate? Now, obviously, Chris, you alluded to like some companies will do all the tests and put it all through, and that's fine. Is information consistent? Like obviously restaurant to restaurant, portion sizes, can you actually say they're going to be the same?
So they weigh out every portion of chips? Probably not.
Yeah, and then like a burger size, or if you're just going off that menu choice. And I think also it's that one meal will really make the difference. I think for me personally, if I've chosen to go and eat out, I've made the choice for someone else to prepare my food. So I kind of already know that there's probably going to be things going into it that I don't know, prepared in a way that I probably normally wouldn't prepare it. So there's probably going to be more calories in it potentially anyway. I don't really then want to be reminded of how many that is. That's just my angle anyway.
The thing is, with calories, ultimately, if you do choose to like track calories, people place too much value on like daily calories when weekly calories are ultimately more important when determining like weight loss goals or weight gain goals, whatever it may be. So like Mike said, is one meal really going to make a huge difference? And if it does make a difference, make it a weekly, adjust for the week rather than for the day. So don't just suddenly not eat for the rest of the day. Yeah. But maybe eat a bit less every day sort of thing.
What I want to say here is I don't really understand what the fuss is about, because ultimately, if you are tracking macros or calories, then this process, okay, it may not be 100% accurate, but it has just made it a little bit easier for you to go out and be sociable and eat those foods because you can ballpark land in where you want to be. I don't really, if you want to track, then track. If you don't want to track, then don't track. I don't understand the problem with this whole process. It might have made things a little bit easier for some people.
But that's the thing is, the thing you presented there was, if you want to track, then track. If you don't want to track, they have an option. So those who are struggling with things like eating disorders, disordered eating, who really struggle with essentially the number associated with food, who develops a bad relationship or maybe reminds them of a bad relationship, they now don't have a choice, which is why I'm anti it. So from an athlete perspective, for me personally, as an individual who loves tracking calories, I love it. I think for me, it's fantastic. But I also understand that I am not the population. I think for the general population, especially for those who are potentially battling with something like an eating disorder or disordered eating, then it can very much risk doing more harm than good, which is why I'm against the idea of implementing it. But flip it around, I think the option to know should be presented. So rather than having calories on the menu, it should be, if you want to know the calories, we can give them to you, but I'm not going to force them down your throat. Because again, that could be very triggering for a lot of people.
I think initially, yes, it will help some people, and so I agree with you there. But I also agree with Harry, the sense of it will help you and your demographic because of like how important that is to you. But who are they actually trying to help? It's the people that don't really know anything about food and nutrition, and I would much rather they spend the time educating.
Yeah, fully agree. I think ultimately, when you are kind of asked like what they're trying to achieve with this, and the first thought that came to my head was very much like a doctor of mental health. You go to a doctor and you're depressed. One of the first call to action is his medication, because unfortunately in a lot of cases when looking at kind of that realm is they aren't very well equipped to deal with mental health, the lack of understanding, whatever it may be. So they feel like they can't just say I don't know, they have to do something, so they give medication. Same sort of thing with this is when you say, well, how do we tackle this potential crisis? I don't know.
I mean, it's here already.
But I was like, well, I don't know, what can we do? Let's put calories on the menu because let's do something. But rather, like you said, so much better to invest that time and money into just educating people to help them make more informed choices without risking triggering those who are unfortunately battling with eating disorders.
If you look at demographics that also consume these high kind of calorie foods, low nutrient dense, they also come from populations that are also can't afford to eat quote unquote healthy, because healthy eating is quite expensive. More real food you put into a meal, the more expensive it gets. So they are also kind of battling with that, and the cost of living going up as well. I can imagine it will make someone feel, you could flip, I know this is very subjective because you can flip it around, but you could have someone look at a meal and be like, well, I can't afford the thing that's good for me because it's too expensive.
I hate that in supermarkets now, because I eat so much veg and so on. And I go in, and for me to eat the healthy way that I want to, it's costing me more than if I ate convenience foods from Iceland and so on, which are just full of shite. And that applies to what you're saying about restaurants that want to be healthy and so on, but their prices have to go up as a result of that.
Definitely. And I think as well, like I do worry if it will bring back the whole if it fits your macros culture a little bit as well, which is kind of like, you hit your number, and especially like if Harry says someone with disordered eating, they're going to maybe look at a menu and try and find something with the lowest number on it, potentially, which could lead down all kinds of deficiency routes over time. And it's just, I just think the education side of getting people to look at their food.
But then if someone does have disordered eating, surely no information at all is more of a kind of minefield for them, so they're more likely to eat nothing.
But sometimes it very much depends on the realm of disordered eating they may be experiencing, in the sense that if they're in recovery and they're trying to redevelop a good relationship with food because they previously obsessively placed too much value on a number and essentially dictated the food's worth and their worth by the number that's being consumed, then not knowing helps them remove food is my fuel now. It's not a number that dictates whether I'm guilty or not.
It's like this. It's like the data on the smartwatch. Suddenly you become obsessed with that data, and it stops you from following your bodily instincts.
That's the thing is, again, I think I can see it from two minds in the sense that for us and like from an athlete perspective, it's fantastic for us because now we have a better idea of what we're actually consuming, and because we are very calorie driven because we're looking to optimize performance, and sadly for optimizing performance, gauging how many calories you're actually consuming is very much optimal.
Yeah.
But for like I said, so for us, I'm there like, love it. But for the general population, which is ultimately why my decision and thoughts around it are against it, I just think it can very much risk although it can help some people
Yeah.
with maybe making better choices in restaurants regarding calorie intake and whatnot.
Definitely.
Well,
I just think it can harm a lot of the people who are unfortunately experiencing.
does it not
disordered eating.
therefore say that to go alongside this development, there should be a lot of work put into helping people as well?
Yeah, I think there's always the lack of help in the mental health realm is so prominent. It's a joke, but they never will. They just don't invest enough into it.
That's just an arc. I think that will get better with time. I feel like
You hope, but you don't know, unfortunately.
Coming from someone who's 10 years your senior, I feel like mental health has gone from absolutely zero from when I was your age to now being something that we can sit here and talk about.
Yeah, no,
So
I agree.
therefore, I feel like it is moving in the right direction. I just say we got to give it more time.
I think the thing is, that's why I very much, although I'm against the idea of calories on menus, I think a better compromise, and which one I think benefits everyone rather than a select population, is give people the option. Don't present the calories. So don't present burger X amount of calories. What will be is burger. But if you want the calories, I can say to the waitress, "So do you have the calories for the menu?" "Oh, sure. Here you go."
Yeah, but then you're introducing another problem with the fact that many people would just not bother. And like 90% of people, or probably 99% of people, aren't going to ask for that information.
But again, is that not their choice?
And I would also argue if.
But I think they're trying.
Is that bad?
They're trying to educate people with this information.
Yeah, but does calories equate to health? Does calories equate to like quality?
Well, the point I was going to come on to was,
but it's going to make people question it.
Yeah, but again, is it going to make people?
But not being
question?
funny,
Is it
if
going
you
to make
didn't,
people obsessed.
if you didn't
and not
think
learn?
that a pizza didn't have a fuck ton of calories in it now, I don't think being told on a pizza, oh shit, really? Oh no!
But guess what? I still want a pizza, so I'm still going to eat the pizza.
I did read something somewhere where they said about how another adverse effect it could have is people that were kind of making choices based on what they knew about nutrition were then going to look at meals that were very close in calories and then start to pick unhealthier options, because an unhealthy option is 100 calories less, but they've actually now picked a quote-unquote more unhealthy option because they're like, well, it's less calories, so surely it's better for me. So it's placing too much value on the calorific value of the food rather than the deep health
density and things
of it
like
all.
that.
Yeah.
Well, it was like basically, are you going to pick an avocado, or are you going to pick a bag of Haribo? Which one are you going to pick?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, imagine if the avocado was really big and the bag of Haribo was really small, and you're like, well, it's got 100 less calories. Yeah, it's also a bag of fucking Haribo, mate.
Yeah. I think it's one of the things to consider is just because of the harm it can do. I don't think it's worth it. But I think that's why I think surely a great alternative is just giving people the option, which is just like, do you want to know the calories or not? If you do, ask them. If you don't, then crack on.
I don't know if how many listeners we have. I mean, we've got quite a few listeners, but I would love it if someone has. Wants to contribute to this conversation. So if you have an opinion on it, if you yourself suffer with problems to do with your diet and this has affected you, or you feel like it's made things worse, let us know.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Because we're just three guys. We're happy.
We want the conversation.
We want the conversation. So contribute the same goes with any subject we talk about. If you're listening to us prattle on about smartwatches, about coaches, about diets or anything, and you something alarm bells trigger and you have something you want to say about that subject, raise it with us through the form,
or just drop us a DM on Instagram.
Or just drop us a DM. However you want to do it, and we will bring this up because this is about bringing you into this. It always has been. So
I think to kind of conclude the topic is, I think we should all give our final stance of, are we yay or nay? So calories on menus, yay or nay? If you had to choose yay or nay, what would you choose?
I'd probably say no.
From a selfish perspective, yes.
Yeah, I'd put a line with Mike, I'd say no. But again, I think we've all given our reasons as to why, and we all understand where the other person's coming from.
Oh, absolutely.
I understand why you would, and I think with your demographic, it makes sense.
Yeah,
I just think that for its intended audience, I think it needs to be better thought out.
At the end of the day, I have been lucky in the sense that I've done a lot of extreme things with my diet, ups and downs and all that sort of stuff, but for whatever reason it's not given me a particularly unhealthy relationship with food, so I'm very lucky in that respect.
I
think it's great they're doing something. I just think like a step in the right direction, as kind of said, but I think it could be done better. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
But then maybe they will learn from this.
Hopefully. And maybe
it's a step in the right direction. They may learn from it. They may improve it.
Hopefully. I mean, it's one of those things, isn't it? So I'm a firm believer that it's not a lack of knowledge that's the problem, it's application. And I just think that we need to find a way to apply the knowledge we have as an industry with the government to try and find a better way to educate people than just tell them what's in, like how many calories are in their food.
I agree.
I mean, the government are very good at telling people what to do and then
not doing it themselves.
Educate, not instruct. They need to educate, and it takes a long time, but it's worth
they're
it.
bosses, not leaders. Hey, remember that?
You go.
The picture.
With the rock and the guy on the big whip and the thing.
Well, I'm pretty happy with that. It's a tricky subject to cover. And we've given some thoughts on it.
It's nice that we can understand each other, even though our views don't necessarily align.
Yeah.
I think that's good. It's rich conversation, which is why we want you to give your input, because then you can tell us your views.
And I think it highlights that there is no definitive answer.
There's no right or wrong. Because it is purely opinion.
It definitely.
Based on our preferences.
And depending on what lens you look at the world through and what your intention is of things. So.
But equally, I mean, I'd be quite happy if it was optional, because then I'd still ask for it.
Yeah, so would I.
Which is fine. A lot of people and I probably would, because I'd be curious.
But again, I think that's why I like it, because it's kind of like a bit of a middle ground, which is why I would have personally gone that route.
I've been to Cheesecake Factory and done
incredible scenes. Honestly,
I've done 6,000 calories in one meal.
Honestly, that cheesecake,
and I only found that out afterwards.
Cool.
So I did the appetizers, which was like pretzel coated chicken for an appetizer.
Do you think you would have if you had known?
Oh yeah,
prior?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Also,
so it wouldn't have stopped you.
No, not at all.
Don't if you ever go back, don't eat off the plates. You get the to-go boxes. We befriended, when we went to LA, we very befriended two women who worked at Cheesecake Factory, went mini golfing with them and everything. And they basically said to us, we said, go on, tell us some secrets about Cheesecake Factory. They were like, please don't eat off the plates, we don't wash them.
I find that hard to believe.
They rinse them a bit of water, they leave it on the side in the kitchen.
I bet you it depends on which one you go to, though.
The Grove, LA.
Yeah, okay, fine.
And they said that the kitchen was not sanitary. And they just leave it, bad.
Now you're going to be telling me that the cheese and the cheesecake isn't really cheese.
Probably
everything's
not.
a lie, but the cheesecake it did bang. The chocolate.
Do they have that here? They do.
No.
Well, like you can get the packets from Waitrose. It's not the same.
No, I'm sorry, it's not the same. No,
and you go to Creams and stuff, but again, it's not.
You know
not
what?
The chocolate,
Creams gives me the runs.
Like I don't think it's because you're lactose intolerant. And you're like, why is it giving me the runs?
Yeah,
it's a UK chain called Creams Cafe, which is like crepes and waffles and ice creams and cheesecakes and stuff.
The chocolate mousse cheesecake.
The first couple of bites are so good, and then I'm like, I regret.
Every time I've ever had that chocolate mousse cheesecake, I've just bit into it. And I'm so like, I'm taking years off my life, and I'm okay with that because it tastes so good.
To me, Cheesecake Factory is the ultimate indulgence. Like I love their cheesecakes so much. I genuinely do.
I don't even like cheesecake that much, but
I love cheesecake. I just talking about dairy. I just remembered something. Do you know that a cow is only called a cow after it's had calves? Before that, it's called a heifer.
That's a bit rude, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that's what
my mum calls me.
That's where the derogatory term heifer comes from.
That makes sense. My mum's actually calling me a cow that hasn't had calves. I'll have words with her about that later.
Yeah, basically, you were a calf.
You were like, yes, mother, I have 4 stomachs.
I might do. Who knows? I eat enough.
To be fair, you give off enough methane, so you could be a cow.
It's like the ripping of the universe when he walks in.
It's very rude. This is bullying. I don't like it.
Well, you haven't been ageist to me yet, so I'm grateful for that.
Never have been. Prove I have. If you've heard anything before Photoshop.
The brilliant news is that we haven't even hit 1 hour 35 yet.
Oh, PB. Fantastic.
Sorry about the 2-hour episode.
PB'd it.
Just, hopefully you didn't. I mean, I think long episodes are good if the content's good.
What's bare funny is when we started this podcast, man, keep it no more than an hour. Hour's good number. We'd double that,
You look at a lot of podcasts that have been around for a while, though. You look at the first, 50 episodes, they're all half an hour, 45
3
minutes.
hours.
And then all of a sudden it's like, we're doing this 4-hour special, and everyone listens to it. Everyone listens to it.
There you go. Anything else to add before we depart?
I think we've done all right.
I think we did all right. We not got any funky questions?
No, we haven't had a huge amount. We need some more stuff sent in.
Right.
We gave out a lot on the last. I think we have I have a couple, but I feel like short and sweet's pretty cool for this one. We've done some good subjects. I've got one question that I think we'll put up next time.
What about we whip up one final question in closing?
Let me see if there's anything on the old.
Yeah, you guys need to ask as well.
Instagrams.
What else have I got?
Oh, that was it. Someone sent poo emojis, finger emojis, and then it was Chris needs a hip replacement.
That's bare funny. Who was that?
So many people have sent that one.
That's bare funny, to be fair.
Because that's what you asked for.
Yeah,
you asked
thanks
for the
for
finger
listening
emoji.
to me. I appreciate it.
You asked for the Chris needs hip, and I asked for the poo emoji. I got mainly poo sent through, and a couple of that someone just said they love the podcast. If we're ever in New Zealand to pop by, they take us to a tour of the climbing walls.
Oh, here we go.
I'm going climbing tonight.
You ever know that he's going to climb for 2 hours? His
He's
battery on his Garmin's going to be 0.
My body battery, guys.
Level 10 wall climber, Spider-Man.
I'd love to go to New Zealand. It looks like a bloody cool place.
We can go to all the Lord of the Rings sites.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
that'd be cool. Let's do that.
Yeah. Who hasn't seen Batman yet?
I tried.
You tried?
What do you mean?
I tried. It's been out for 5 weeks and I was full.
It's going to be
It's
on
half
streaming soon, isn't
Where's it going to be? Disney Plus?
I don't know. I saw an article that was like,
yeah, I know. I want to say cinema.
good and bad for Batman fans that want to stream, and then I didn't read the article, so I'll figure out.
You'll also hate me that I only watched Lord of the Rings for the first time at the start of the pandemic, and I thought it was just a bit.
Did you watch the extended director's ones?
No, I gotta be honest, I can't remember any of it. I can't remember any of Lord of the Rings.
I get everything mixed up on all
I
of
just
them.
can't remember. I remember one of the orcs. That's literally it. Other than that, I just can't remember shit. It wasn't my vibe, and I love Skyrim. So
Final question then for Q&A that's come in from an anonymous
Shadow of
person.
Mordor. Sorry, that's a really good game. Anyway,
Oh, that is a good game.
it's a really good game.
Video games.
Sorry, Fun Police, after you.
Thoughts on James Smith?
Oh, what, the PT guy?
He's the Australian dude, isn't he?
No.
British.
He's British.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He, I have to say, I think he has made fitness a bit like kind of what Joe Wicks did. He's kind of like definitely simplified it, made it more digestible for people in the fitness industry. One thing I did find quite jarring was when he did burst onto the scene. This is when I was still living in London. There were a lot of copycats. A lot of coaches started to adopt this whole like, it's just a calorie deficit, nothing else fucking matters. And it was like, I think you've missed the point there, mate. I think he's trying to make a point that, calorie deficit ultimately is going to change the fat loss scenario, but there are lots of other aspects. But people got they tried to oversimplify fitness messages, and I think oversimplification is just as dangerous as overcomplication.
Agreed.
And I think he drove that without meaning to. I think he pushed that. His book is quite good, I've heard. I've not.
I want to say he posted something really controversial about. I might be wrong about maybe body positivity or something along those lines.
Yeah, I think a lot of people did it when especially when all those adverts were coming out about kind of like body positive.
I remember him saying that it was really insensitive, and I didn't align with it. But again, it may not have been him because I don't consume his content. He pops up my TikTok every now and then. I know who he is.
I actually don't follow him.
All I know is that there is some stuff of his I've seen which I'm like, yeah, fair, simple. But other stuff I've seen where I'd be like, actually, that's not a bit me. So I don't know enough about him as a content creator to really form an opinion regarding whether or what I think of him.
Yeah,
essentially,
the bits I've seen are okay, and sometimes a little bit too aggressively negative.
I do understand that. Dramatic for the sake of
I'm
content.
sorry, but so many people in social media, in any industry, always end up doing stuff that's overly something in order to be an extreme, in order to stand out.
That's what I used to try and do with YouTube. Before
true.
It actually started going somewhere, I used to try and be overly like negative for the sake of it because negativity was driving
clickbait.
views.
It's clickbait.
But then I realised actually not being an arsehole, just kind of being you actually did a lot better.
Yeah.
And I was like, good, now I don't have to pretend anymore.
No, I'll say that.
Be you, guys.
Just be...
Just be you.
All I want to do is do it. Kevin Perry Go Large.
That is a reference.
That is a great film.
Classic.
It's definitely on your level because there's poo jokes in it.
Just my life.
That bit in the sea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm quite happy to wrap up there before Harry goes off on a toilet tangent.
Eyeball Paul.
I already gave my poo story.
Oh, can we have... So for next episode, I want Harry's toilet tangent, and you can pull out a little anecdote from a toilet story, from a voice note, of a toilet voice note.
When's our next episode?
You got 2 weeks.
So realistically, you'll think about it, we've got about 42 hours of toilet tangent coming out.
Okay, cool.
Good God.
So good luck, everyone, for the next episode and Harry's toilet tangent. But yeah, that's been episode 10, and I'm quite happy that
Double figures.
Yeah, and we're finally on YouTube. I really don't know if my battery's lasting in the camera. I'm going to have to probably get something to keep it permanently plugged into the mains.
It's really annoying because I don't know if I'll take the same batteries because I've got a mains battery.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not Panasonic, is it? So,
mine's Nikon, so yours is. What's yours?
So yeah, you might just be listening to us at this point, but if you are, thanks for being here, and leave some sort of jazzy emoji for us somewhere. Your choice, dealer's choice, unless there's something you want to see emoji-wise.
I just want to cuddle. Yeah. Not from you.
Okay,
send us the cuddle emoji. There is one.
Send us your cuddles, and thanks for listening. He's been
Radical.Mike.
He's been Harry_TFNL.
Knows my one.
I was about to get. He didn't give me a chance to say it.
Too much hesitation.
And
Sorry, mate.
I've very much been Christy Fellows, and this has been another episode of Pump Fiction. Thanks for coming, guys. See you later.
Bye.
Goodbye.